care. I'm just changing.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and if you can't tell, I am wiped out, and that's because I stayed up for 24 hours straight so that I could take part in the Ixalan, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan early access event. I had to run a concert. I'm a concert promoter, that's my day job, and I had to run a concert the same day as the Ixalan early access event, but I didn't want to miss. So instead of sleeping, I did a launch stream for a couple hours, went and worked the concert for like 10 hours, and then came back and streamed for like 12 hours, and didn't sleep for over 24 hours, and them's the ropes. But had to get the content out, had to try these crazy new decks. I apologize if my voice is pretty messed up. It's probably like that in a lot of the gameplay too, because I was absolutely wiped out trying to get all this done for you guys. But the decks we came up with are really, really awesome, and this is one of them that I want to talk about. It's Simic. Before we talk about the deck, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com/quarantinedcapricorn. That's Yuckfuzi, Squirrel, Noah Vincent, and Brittany at the Brew Elite tier. And then, of course, our forever CPU savior, Terrence Rohrbach. Thank you guys for your contributions. Also, I am going to link up above and down below our link to the spoiler playlist for Ixalan, where I have a bunch of shorts with my takes on a bunch of the different cards in Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So if you're interested in those spoiler shorts, make sure and check that out. But this deck is called Mermaid in Heaven, and we're utilizing Merfolk, but we're doing it in a bit of a different way here. It's kind of a combo deck. We have a bunch of explore combos and a bunch of explore mechanics built into the deck, and we're absolutely able to abuse that. But the primary focus here is to go super wide with a bunch of tokens with hexproof that can each be sacked to protect our board. You just have to see it to believe it. We'll hurry up and go over the deck, but before we do that, like, subscribe, do all the things, help the channel grow, all that good stuff. I do appreciate it greatly. And also catch us Monday through Friday on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinedcapricorn. Because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, even if I'm just barely alive and breathing, like I am right now, I'm there and I'm streaming. So let's break down this deck. Alright, so this deck's kind of insane. It's Merfolk Tribal, but it's utilizing vehicles to just tap down all of your Merfolk for insane value with a brand new card called Deeproot Pilgrimage. 1 blue and 1 for an enchantment. Whenever one or more non-token Merfolk you control become tapped, you create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. So you get a bunch of Merfolk off of just tapping your existing Merfolk. Those Merfolk have hexproof, so it's hard for your opponent to deal with them. And then you can flash in Vodalian Hexcatcher. That's right, it's finally this card's time to shine. 1/1 flash for 2 mana, buffs all your Merfolk by +1/+1, and then the most important part, you can sacrifice a Merfolk to counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. So the idea here is we're making a ton of tokens off Deeproot Pilgrimage by tapping down our Merfolk, and then we're using those tokens to protect our entire board by making it so if they try to cast their removal, we just counterspell their removal. One at a time, we can sacrifice a token and force them to pay 1 now. If they do it, you sack 1 more, pay 1 now. It gets kind of absurd. And the reason we're able to go way over the top with this and really make it hit home is because vehicles, especially vehicles with crew 1, are able to tap creatures to crew them even if they've already been crewed. So if you have 3 or 4 Merfolk on the field, you can tap each one at a time to crew the Hoverbike, even if the first one already has it crewed so that it can swing. And then each one that gets tapped makes a separate Merfolk. If you're just swinging with your Merfolk, it says 1 or more non-token Merfolk become tapped, so if they all get tapped at the same time, it's just going to make 1. But if you can tap them individually with crew 1, you can just make a ton of Merfolk tokens, use them to protect your board, and it gets kind of wild. Now, we have 3 different vehicles that I think are the best fits for this deck. First of all, we have a new one called Subterranean Schooner, 2 mana for a 3/4 vehicle. It crews for 1, and whenever it attacks, target creature that crewed it this turn explores. Now, the other thing that Merfolks are really good at is exploring. So we're kind of dual synergizing in both the go wide Deeproot Pilgrimage, Vodalian Hexcatcher sort of archetype, and a ton of explore that's built into some of the best Merfolk. So Schooner getting to trigger our explore, and some of the cards in the deck sort of making that explore trigger get even more value gets kind of insane. We've also got, as I've mentioned, the High-Speed Hoverbike, because we can flash this in on our opponent's turn, tap down a really important threat to buy us the time to have one more turn to go even wider with tokens so that we can stabilize and take control of the game. And a lot of times it's just the perfect card if you're up against one big threat that you just need a turn to breathe. And it crews for 1, of course, as well. And then we've also got Flywheel Racer, because this also comes down for just 2 mana, crews for 1, and not only can it swing with Vigilance, but you can tap it for mana. So in a way, it's almost like this kind of cost 1. Now granted, you can't use it the turn you put it into play, because once it becomes a creature, it's going to have Summoning Sickness, and you can only add mana from this once it's a creature. So you do have to kind of plan ahead, but being able to ramp with the Flywheel Racer while tapping down all of your Merfolk is kind of wild. Let's start at the beginning of the curve. For the rest of the Merfolk that are in the deck, we have for Cenote Scout, because it's just a 1/1 for 1 that explores when it comes into play. It's going to trigger the rest of our explore synergies and just be a really cheap Merfolk we can tap down to generate tokens. We've also got Jadelight Spelunker, and if we absolutely need to, we can play this for 1 as well. It won't explore if we do, but it'll be there to tap down to make tokens if we absolutely need to. It also scales into the late game, so we can explore a bunch of times and kick off all of our explore synergies, which we'll get to in just a minute. We've already talked about the Hexcatcher. We've got 4 Deeproot Wayfinder, 2/3 for 2. When it deals combat damage to a player or battle, you surveil 1, and then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So this is a good way to get extra value while also being able to, generate Merfolk tokens and do all the synergies you kind of already want to do in the deck. But this brings us to Nicanzil, current Conductor. This guy is nuts. A 2/3 legendary Merfolk scout for only 2 mana. Whenever a creature you control explores a land card, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. And whenever a creature you control explores a non-land card, you put a +1/+1 counter on Nicanzil, current Conductor. So basically, all your other creatures, when they're exploring, whenever you hit a land, you get to actually just put it into play for free instead of just drawing it. And whenever you hit a counter, this guy gets a counter too. This guy can get huge and just hold down the fort against mono red, which you'll see in one of the games. And he just provides a ton of value for all these Merfolk that are just doing the explore thing anyway. Even Bentley's excited about it. We've also got 4 Sentinel of the Nameless City. This is a really above rate kind of Merfolk in the deck, a 3/4 Vigilance for 3 mana. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you get to create a map token, and then you can use that map token to explore with one of your creatures and trigger some of your explore synergies. The deck just goes way over the top. It snags a bunch of lands off the top, puts a bunch of counters on its creatures, goes super wide with tokens, and just counterspells every threat, not every threat, but every piece of removal that would threaten your board state. And it's super powerful. We've got 4 Cavern of Souls in the mana base, because we can play our Merfolk with it by naming Merfolk as the tribe, and our opponent can't counter those Merfolk if we do that. And then we've just got, all the dual lands. 4 Yavimaya Coast, 4 Restless Vinestalk, 4 Dreamroot Cascade, 1 Boseiju, 1 Otawara, and 2 Island. We're a little bit higher on the blue here, because Cavern of Souls can only make green or blue for our Merfolks, and we do have the Subterranean Schooner, which is not a Merfolk and needs blue. So those couple islands are there on purpose, and I really think it helps balance out the deck. Deck's nutty, got some wins, it was kind of crazy, and I can't wait to play some more of this once it launches. So let's check out the games. Alright, we're going to try this. Oh god. More Enigma Jewel from Mr. Olive. Almost always magic. It's what people want to see. Fabrication Foundry. I think we're gonna jam the schooner here. Because it would be nice to swing with it next turn and then find a land off of Explore. Or just do that. That works too. Lame. It's kind of rough. I mean, we'll swing. Another one. I mean, at least we got rid of them all. That's fine.
Let's rock!
I'm streaming from the beautiful state of New Hampshire. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it greatly. Alright. He's already... What is he doing? Oh, he crafted that. Okay. Weird. Oh, because he had another one. That's what it was. That's what it was. Alright, we're gonna pass the turn. We got stuff to flash in. Daddy says no, Mr. Olive. Daddy says no. Fabrication Foundry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. A little bit short. Needs 2 more mana. And he's really going for it, huh? He is really going for it. Alright, we got some options here. Touch the Spirit Realm. Alright, we'll do that. You can swing for 5 if you'd like, that's fine. But you're not doing a whole lot else. Alright. Alright, we're gonna jam the Wayfinder. And the turn, we'll hold up the Hoverbike. Things are looking up for us. I don't think he can get there. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. Do we want a Cenote or do we want a Vinestalk? That's the question. I think exploring is probably worth it. I mean, a 2/2 for 1 is good. Or if it finds land, that's even better. Coast, Cenote, let's go. Nice. Give me that land, boy. Bloodtide's Harvester, sure. I mean, I want to play the Pilgrimage, but I need to flash in the Hexcatcher, right? Skibble bobble. Skibble bobble. I think we're gonna do it like this. Pass turn. We can do it. We can do it, boys and girls. I believe in us. Rowan's Grim Search. Resolve. Do the thing. Play all the old cards. It's gonna be awesome. Untapped land would be kind of amazing, not gonna lie. Surprising. We are gonna get to hit back for 3, so I mean, weird. Doggo. Swing, hit for 3. Unfortunately, we can't use the mana because our land is tapped, but we do have another 1/1, and since it has Vigilance, it could theoretically block again. But we probably want to use the mana next turn, to be honest. Look at all these Pilgrimages. We can do a lot with that, I think. Nahiri. Greasefang. Interesting. Very interesting.
Stand up and fight.
Lots of craziness here. Do some of this. I don't think we want to swing though, right? No. What we want to do is simply play another thing. Or just hold it up to Hexcatcher, maybe? Yeah, I think we want a Hexcatcher. We gotta do it this turn though. Alright, pass turn. We can crew by tapping the Hexcatcher and get 2 more tokens, and we can actually sack tokens to counterspell his things, which is pretty cool. Bit of reunion, sure. Show me what you've got. Hello, Souls of the Lost. Well, I cannot counterspell that. So you do what you gotta do. I mean, that's no big deal. We can just tap it before combat so that we don't have to swing with it. We'll just do another one. 'Cause why not? Wild. Absolutely wild. Good God. Good God. We'll play you. And I don't. Yeah, we'll pass turn. I don't think he can do anything to come back. We can counter any non-creature spell easily. We can trade tokens for his dude easily. Like, we're gonna make 6 more at instant speed. It's bananas. Bananas. Absolute bananas. Imagine if we had like a Mondrak or something. Hoo-wee. Hello. Soul of the Lost. Yeah, that's fine. We can only counter non-creature spells, so... Go ahead. Pay the 1. Come on, Stacky Dose. There you go. Oh, wait. Oh, I clicked through it. That's what you get when you're tired, man. So I lose my ability to counterspell now. But, I mean, I can still make a crap ton of dudes. Kind of a bummer, though. Kind of screwed that up. Man, we would have went off. We would have completely went off. Let's see, create a map token. Alright, let's tap you. Let's make some more. I think we just win, right? Can't really block all that. We've got 13 tokens swinging. Even without the pump, it's like absurd. Can't believe I whiffed that one play, though. I've been up for like 24 hours. Give me a break. Alright. We're gonna keep this. Hello, Atto. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Hello. Nice. Alright, we'll lead with the Cascade. I think we play the Schooner first. If I'm being completely honest. Alright, we'll go, Cavern of Souls. We'll name Merfolk. We'll play this guy. And we'll try and do a thing. He's only got 1 mana up, so let's just do this. Try and get him to outpace their removal. Shall we? Do we just play the Spelunker? It might be right to just play the Spelunker. We'll pay 0. Just having it on there, he has to waste removal on it, or let us start getting counters on it by exploring. So that's going to be kind of rough for him, I think. Ainum Pakal. Pass. No blocks. We might start blocking next turn, but for now, if we're not below half-life, we need to do what we can here. Pay 3. Get some counters on the Conductor. Put a land onto the battlefield. Do some of this. Swing with just this guy, hold back some blockers. I think that's pretty good. You know what? We'll keep that High-Speed Hoverbike. There is no getting through Nicanzil. There's no getting through Nicanzil. It's not happening. It is not happening, boys and girls. Angel Fire, huh? 4/5 Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, Haste. Still not good enough though, right? Gotta just prevent the damage, I think. And we'll take 7. But I mean, we pretty much swing for the win, right? Pretty much. Tap you down. Do all the things, get all the counters, and smash. Oh no, he gained life, didn't he? I didn't realize that part. I forgot he gained life. So we actually didn't have lethal. Oopsie. Good game. Just swing. There's nothing, bro. Just do the thing. I'm a dummy. I could have held up blockers pretty easily. I mean, maybe I still wouldn't have lived because of all this, but... No, because I could have hoverbiked his guy, right? No, I would have needed to keep both of them from attacking in order to keep Aiden Pakal from triggering. So, I don't know. That was tricky. Alright, this is fine. We'll keep 7. Hello. Cavern of Souls. We're gonna name Merfolk. We're gonna play the Scout. And we're gonna explore. Alright. We're gonna island. And then we're gonna pilgrimage. And then he's gonna have to use removal on the Scout. No? Okay. That's pretty cool. Belligerent Yearling. That's okay. We can kill it, I think. We're gonna jam this. I think we just flash in the Hexcatcher and then block. I think that's what we want to do. Alright, we'll hit for 1. It's just free damage, right? Free damage. Another Belligerent Yearling. Alright, so we can swing for 3. I don't think he'll risk having trading with the 2 tokens, right? Nope. Alright, we'll do this. We will do this. We need... we need a way to tap our dudes, right? That's what we need. Let's do this. Let's just swing with everything, because why not? We're making 2 more. If he trades, it's good for us. If he doesn't trade, we can sack it to counterspell stuff. We can still block with these ones. Let's just jam it, because why not? We could save it to scale, but I think just getting another Merfolk in play is probably a good idea. We've got 12 vehicles in the deck, so we just need to draw 1 of them. And then we can start making tokens like crazy. Alright, Hideaway, sure. Still not swinging though. Skaboomba? Smash for 8. Let's see what he does. We're just gonna jam another one of these so that we trade, and he scoops! Or she scoops. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.